Ba-dum-bum.
Hello. Welcome back to Quality Time
We're here.
with Nick and Erin. Mm-hmm. I'm Nick.
I'm Nick.
Well, today you kind of are. How do you guys like our shirts? Erin, who's
I'm
that?
Nick now.
Who's that beautiful face on your boobs right now?
I'm better.
Oh, are you?
I'm helping.
That's so true. That is kind of what I think. Anytime I see people make videos about preaching about things on social media, I'm helping. What was that? Wiggum's son from Simpsons? I forget what's his name.
Ralphie.
Ralph Higgins. Ralph Wiggum.
Ralphie, yeah.
That show's so old and we don't even know. So we got the merch out, guys. It's official Nick Foster merch. It's not the official Quality Time merch yet. We are working on the Quality Time merch because we're going to have some merch specific for this podcast.
I came up with a good, funny idea for it.
Yeah.
We'll save it, though.
We will save it.
It's good.
But today's merch is my beautiful face saying, I'm better. Why is that so funny? Well, I guess there's a story for that. I finally come out with official merch, and it really is just an epic troll to troll my TikTok nemesis.
It should be.
Yes.
Like that fits your brand so well.
I guess that is the most fitting merch I could possibly put out.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, just the joke. Just got to keep trolling.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So my arch nemesis, who shall not be named because he gets no mention on this podcast, likes to preach about, men be better, right? With his little hand gesture where he won't point because he doesn't want to trigger his sensitive audience. So he has to do the be better. Like, bro, oh my God, you're so cringy. Comes after me all the time, made a bunch of videos attacking me. Him and his friend who also shall not be named, Mr. Male Feminist, kind of funny news about him this week too. So this all tied together to the merch. I wasn't going to get into the story, but I guess we have to explain the merch.
Well, you thought about this before this whole controversy happened.
Yeah. So there's a lot of joke ideas that I have for the merch. And one I really wanted to do was, my arch nemesis, I shouldn't give him that much credit, but he's definitely a bit of a rival on the app.
Yeah.
Loves to preach to men about be better. And I was like, dude.
Can we call him Caleb?
Well, I don't know. That's going to be confusing for me. And also the other guy's name is too similar. Well, his friend's name is.
I don't remember his friend's name.
It starts with a CAL.
Oh.
I don't want to name any of these people.
There was just a kid in my school named Caleb, and it was just like,
a total douche. A total.
No. People who went to my school, No, he was just.
Anyways,
mean.
Enough of.
That was a mean.
Well, I'm mean too.
Just because that guy is just like. Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, we could use that name for one of the people in the story because that's kind of fitting. Caleb.
He wouldn't be a Caleb, but sure, yeah.
Okay, this is getting off the rails.
Anyways.
I gotta explain this. Basically, he's always preaching, be better, and it's so cringy and it's so annoying. And he turns off all his comments and nobody can respond. And he sends all his haters or all his fans to hate on me all the time and preaches to me about my jokes and how much of a problem, how problematic my jokes are in perpetuating a rape culture against women. Because God knows women are being assaulted by jokes. That's the problem in society. Meanwhile, he turns off all his comments and then he comes out with merch that says be better with his face on it. So cringy.
Exactly like
and
this,
I literally was like, I'm going to put merch with my face on it and say, I'm better. Congrats. You convinced me to be better. And
I'm better now.
I am better. You cured me. Your merch and your hand gestures and scolding face on TikTok have convinced me to be a better man. And now I'm all better. I'm better. So I thought it was going to be so funny to troll and do that. And that was like some merch that I had sent out to get printed. And right as it's getting sent to me, coincidentally, I was even like, I don't know, I'm kind of not making jokes about him anymore. I was kind of on some other subjects.
Yeah.
But this week, a bomb drops. I mean, a couple bombs. One, Gemini official, I'll name him because I don't have a rivalry with him, but he shouldn't get clout because he is
He doesn't have a TikTok anymore though, right?
Not anymore.
Yeah.
He was a big creator with 3 million plus followers.
That's crazy.
And he's like 21 or something. I don't know. I mean, he's in college. He might be 20, but either way.
Of age.
Had sex with a 15-year-old girl that was like one of his fans. Definitely highly illegal. Not cool. And all of TikTok decided to attack him. Not attack him, but, you know, make jokes about him and demand TikTok remove him from the app because this guy came back and pretty much admitted to it and was like, yeah, I knew she was 15 and I didn't know at the time when we hooked up. He didn't say hook up. He's like, I got with her. It's like, you got with her, bro. You committed a felony with her. Like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And he was like, I didn't know she was 15 at the time, but then she told me, and it was stupid that I kept hanging out with her and I kept like trying to sext with her and all that. It's like, yeah, you think? And you know what's even dumber? Admitting to it on a social network with millions of people watching as if that's going to make your life better. Okay. We'd have more respect for you if you lied about it, bro. No, probably not. But I was just like, dude, you are so you're literally giving a prosecutor
putting evidence out there.
A case against you. Yeah. And I lost a lot of respect, not only for what you did, but just for how fucking stupid you are. First off. And so we were not going to let him live it down. He comes back on and he's just like, I'm sorry. Anyways, I don't want any drama. Let's just move on. And we're all like, you don't want drama, bro. We're not about to let you get a pass on this. And we just started making jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes.
Yeah.
Demanding TikTok gets him taken down. Meanwhile, Mr. Be Better, let me scold everybody on who makes jokes on TikTok about sexual assault or any type of topic that could be conveyed as disrespect or anything negative towards women. Totally silent on the issue of an actual predator on the app who actually had
Gemini official though.
Yeah, right? He never made any videos about addressing that. But he'll come after me when I make a joke.
Yeah.
But then when he actually hears somebody hooked up with I'm saying hooked up with, raped, statutory rape, whatever, a 15-year-old girl, and is on the app with a huge platform, he's completely silent, of course. So this is the type of thing about this. This is why I mock him so much. Anyways, we all did it. Mm-hmm. TikTok eventually takes his account down. 3+ million people, account taken down. And we're all like, yes.
Yeah.
At the same time, Mr. Male Feminist Be Better just happens to be good friends with another dude, liberal male feminist guy on the app, who they both together have been attacking me for months, making content about fuck Nick Foster, propping each other up in their comment sections. This dude, the main guy, obviously has blocked me from everything, so I don't even see his shit. But the other guy is like sending me threats and saying he hates me and posting all these.
Clap your lip. No, not your lips.
He sent some video like, I hate that Nick for no reason. He's just like, anyways, guys, happy Wednesday. By the way, that Nick Foster guy, I hate him. I want to clap his cheeks. I'm like, well, who says that? What does that even mean? Like, bro, I get it. You're attracted to me. You don't get a lot. You don't get a lot of girls consensually. Therefore, you're trying to force yourself upon me too. I know I'm pretty. Look at this face. It's
I know.
Beautiful. He literally was, when I got my first account taken down, he's posting videos literally, rubbing it in, applauding, celebrating to music. All these women are celebrating along with him. Like, we got Nick Foster. And they're all in his comment section. You're the only man I would trust with my drinks. You're the best. You're the best example. Who's your mom? I want to shake her hand.
Yikes.
Turns out, shocker, ladies, male feminists are trying to sleep with you. Okay, hate to say it. There's a lot of men who are like, yes, go women. You're equal. We love you. We respect you. We want you to have equality and freedom and all of these things. But they don't have to make their entire account on social media convincing you how much they respect women. Most dudes are just like, yeah, I respect women. I don't need to constantly convince you about it. This dude's whole account was basically telling men, first off, the main guy, be better. But this is his other friend saying men are doing all these horrible things to women. We need to teach men not to rape women instead of teaching women not to get raped. Valid point. Absolutely. Nobody's arguing with that. Don't know why your whole account is based on this. Turns out he goes on a meetup with Mr. Be Better with another girl who's on TikTok, big creator. They're all hanging out. They're all having a little meetup. They're literally tagging me in their video saying Nick Foster's punching the air right now, as if I'm mad that these creepy dudes are hanging out together. Like, bro, I don't want to be part of your weird male feminist
weird
group.
That
they were
like
obsessed.
Yeah.
I mean, I sound obsessed too, but it's a thing. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And so mocking and gloating when I get banned. Turns out the girl that's on the trip with them, he sexually assaults in her sleep after she's drunk, goes home, drives her home. She passes out drunk because she was like on some other medication. I don't want to throw her whole story out there, so I'm not going to name her either. Yeah. And he inserts himself while she's sleeping several times, and she wakes up. Well, that's how she described it.
Terrible word.
And she is disgusted and is no longer friends with them, and she wanted it. It came to me through other people, and then it just started snowballing, but I couldn't let it go. I never named her. I didn't want to throw her out there, but I was not going to give these dudes a pass. This is a dude who literally mocked me. The first guy, Be Better, has no problem scolding me for clear jokes. You might not like the jokes. That's an argument, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're pretending as though I'm the problem in society for making a joke, and sends millions of people after me, which go back and listen to the episode of Nick Foster is Not Canceled, and I go into details about how much bullshit I had to deal with from that, all because he wanted to lecture me about my jokes. And then he's out here celebrating with this other dude who rapes the other girl that they're with.
My God.
This guy gloats when Caleb, well, if we're going to say, I don't know, it's a similar name.
Sure.
Literally attacks me when I get banned. And then he is guilty of his whole profile is don't rape women. Men are you gotta call out your like boys if ever you see them do something wrong, because he's like a frat boy, this one, right? This is hard to explain in any way that it's going to make sense when I'm not naming names, because I just don't want to name their names.
No, it's fine. It makes sense. You don't have to have the names. If people don't know who they are, then they're not going to know anyway.
True.
So say their name.
And so he literally rapes this girl. It comes out, and I'm like, there's no way I'm giving this dude a pass. And he comes out with a bullshit apology. He's like, hey guys, sorry I've been gone for a while. I'm not going to be on TikTok anymore. I deleted all my stuff. I just decided I'm not going to be on TikTok. I think all the followers I was getting and was making my ego too big, and it made me make the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. Anyways, buy my friend's shoes and like just move. It just starts giving shout outs to his friend. It's like, bro, wait. You made a mistake. Like, you raped a woman while she was sleeping. You're not even saying sorry. Yeah. You shouted out all your friends.
This is weird.
And you're blaming it on having a bunch of followers. Dude, I have twice as many followers as you, and I'm not out, and I got a big ego for sure. Yeah. But one, I'm not out there preaching how humble and good I am. But I am a good dude who's not out there raping women in their sleep.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I cannot let this go. And I just started making joke after joke after joke about that guy. But then coincidentally, at the very same time, Mr. Be Better, who's the #1 male feminist with 4+ million people on the app, who preaches about everything and calling out rape culture and calling me out for jokes.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a word about his own friend who he met up with the girl who that very man then sexually assaulted in her sleep.
That's fucked up.
Doesn't say a word. Goes completely silent on the issue. And I'm like, I am not letting this go. And I just started pushing. Anyways, the whole reason I'm telling that story, because I wasn't going to bring all that up on the podcast, but is because at the very same time, this merch that I had been designing to mock him about his Be Better, and then I was like, I'm going to put my face and be like, I'm better, just so I can make some dumb jokes, shows up in the mail on the exact same day that all this controversy is happening. So I'm like, oh, this is great. This is great. This is just great product promotion, that's great launch of the merch. And it's just a fitting message of like, bro. So I called him out. He eventually was forced into making a video about it. And he did. Never said the guy's name. Never said, hey, my friend was doing this. He just basically was like, hey, I believe the girl. I believe her.
And he was saying her name too. And like she didn't want to be mentioned at all, she was saying. So it's like, that's a little fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
That, like you're just blasting her out, but you won't put your friend on blast. Like,
so
what?
When I'm making the jokes to call out this dude who is a rapist, I made an effort. I made sure not to say the girl's name or what happened. And when people were tagging her or asking about who it was, I never said anything. I never gave her up at all.
Yeah.
And I heard she didn't want to be named.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll respect that, but I'm not going to give this dude a fucking pass. Fuck this dude. But then the be better dude, it's hard. I literally want to scold him. Finally is forced to address it. Doesn't even say it's his friend who did it. Just says, I stand with the victim and names her.
Yeah.
So you threw her out there and name her so all these people can go badger her about it.
Okay, he had to like throw his kind of trauma into it as well.
God.
He was like, this happened to me when I was younger too by a woman. And so I know what she feels and we are in this together. Like, I don't even know, some shit like that. I'm just why do you have to?
In his defense, he did that the day before in regards to the Gemini official situation, but it was the same thing where he didn't speak out on it and he was getting a bunch of backlash. Like, why are you so quiet on this? And he came out and said, oh, well, I never told anybody this, but when I was 8 years old, I was molested by an older woman. First off, your entire account is villainizing men, saying that they perpetuate this horrible rape culture, which of course men are, there's a lot of problematic men. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But we don't live in a culture where most men are okay with men raping women. Men protect women. Men don't stand by. They're villainized even in prisons. They're the most, beat up and abused people. They're, what's the word I'm looking for? They're like lepers. Is that the word?
Yeah.
God, my brain is not pulling the right words.
Lepers, yeah.
I know. Leper is actually like when you are like losing skin.
Yeah,
it's
they treat you like that because you would stay away from those people.
Anyways, nobody stands by. We don't live in a culture where most men are standing by for rapists. They are. Lepers, no, there's a different word. Pariah. That's the word I was looking for.
I would not have gotten that.
Anyways.
Leper though works.
No, I mean, that's that wasn't the word I was looking for. His whole narrative is that men perpetuate this terrible rape culture that women have to deal with all the time, and never stands up when women falsely accuse men, never does anything like that, never blames women for any of their issues. Meanwhile, then he comes out and says, oh, I was molested when I was 8 by a woman. Mm-hmm. Doesn't that highlight that men are not just the issue? Like, your whole argument here is you're traumatized by being abused by a woman. So you should be the first one to condemn women when they do shitty things. That's the first point. The second point is he said, I just have a hard time talking about sexual assault because I was abused. He's posted hundreds of videos attacking people about sexual assault. Yeah. Anything that's vaguely problematic. My joke was just a joke about the topic, and he came out and made 4 videos about me. He had no problem talking about it then until he doesn't want to speak up against a big creator because he doesn't want to lose his position on the platform. And a lot of people were getting punished for talking about it. And TikTok was suppressing a lot of videos and deleting videos. And he doesn't want that problem. Yeah. So he stays quiet on that. And so he makes an excuse. Oh, I couldn't talk about this. And then his own friend the very next day is brought out to be a predator who rapes a girl in her sleep and doesn't say a fucking word. So then he comes out, he finally gets pushed into it. He comes out and he says, I stand with her and I believe her. And a lot of people don't believe her, but I believe her. No fucking shit, you believe her. You know the dude who did it to her. You were friends with both of them and you met up with them together. And that's when it happened, or shortly thereafter. Because I know it happened in August and they met up in August. Yeah. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together and saying, and he knew this happened. Never said anything. We just found out now. Yeah. 2 months later. Dang. And he's going to scold everybody and point the finger at everybody.
How did it come out?
I got news from, first I saw it on some dude's account talking about, you guys remember this male feminist? And I was like, that's the dude that's always coming after me. Yeah. And then he's like, you won't believe it. And my first thought was, did he die? because like I hadn't seen him post for a month. He hadn't posted in a while. And then I saw the story and I was like, is this fucking real? No fucking way. But I didn't know the details.
No, yeah.
And then somebody else posted about it and I hit him up and was like, what is going on here? And he gave me the details because he's friends with the girl too and knew all the story.
Yeah, but how to get out onto like TikTok, I guess.
Because that guy knew and kind of started spreading the word, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know where it started, but once I got a hold of it.
I know she was like not trying to be a part of it, didn't want it out there. So it's like she obviously
I don't know.
didn't say
I'm getting
anything.
conflicting things because she seemed very happy and supportive of the dudes who were calling him out.
Oh, of course. I mean, after it's already out there, it's like, might as well, yes, fuck that dude. Yeah. But she probably didn't want it out there in general. But then once it was, it's like, you like the people who are like supporting you.
Yeah. I think, and that's the thing is, Mr. B Better could call the dude out. He called her out by name and doesn't, even if you're not going to mention the guy's name, which you absolutely should, because you would do that to anybody else.
Yeah.
And you don't ask whether that victim cares because you don't care about that victim. You just care about your fucking clout and calling people out. You could at least say, listen, I have to admit that it was a good friend of mine who I trusted and he was part of the problem too. Shouldn't you tell the women who you're trying to inform about all the dangers of men in wolves in sheep's clothing? Shouldn't you let them know, hey, I even thought this guy was a great dude. Many of you women follow him and love him. Yeah. And I need to let you know to be wary of him and that he is part of the problem too. And even we can be fooled. Shouldn't you say that?
That is good, yeah.
He doesn't say any of that. Instead, he just sidesteps the whole issue and says, I believe her. Of course you believe her, bro. You know who did it. Like, give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
So once he named her, I was like, I'm going into town. We'll get into I got to take a break and we'll get right into this. Oh, Erin's on her second beer. Erin, don't get too drunk. I need you to consent later.
No, thank you.
Oh, guys, you heard it here first. If
you
some
can
news
consent, I'll consent.
Hey, like, you see that? You see that, guys? That's called a consensual sexual relationship.
Consent.
It's so funny because consensual. I guess I kind of want to make this point because your name is Erin.
Oh, well, no.
Okay,
it's just a coincidence.
But it's like so funny that you consent, but she didn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic. Okay, so he never says anything about it. And then he gets forced into the issue because people keep badgering him. And I'm a big part of this because I was making a bunch of jokes about the issue. And then he comes out and he says, oh, I stand with the victim, names her all over the place, tags her. Everybody knows it's her. Nobody knows who the dude is. So what's going to happen? Everybody floods her comment sections and starts going, who's the guy? You got to let us know. And now she has to address it. So she addresses it and she puts it out there. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm going to go. I'm laying this shit out because I know the story. Yeah. I know they were together. I know they were best friends. I know they were supporting each other, attacking me for months. So I'm taking this personal. I'm a part of this. The way a lot of people think I'm just inserting myself in the situation. No, dude, these guys were coming at me all the time about these very issues and then are guilty of it as well. Yeah. No. I'm not. I have no issue with her. She never said, it has nothing to do with her. It's about them and me, right? And that's what I'm doing. But once he names her, I'm like, okay, I'm going to lay this shit out because they had videos together that they tagged me in when they were all hanging out on the beach. They have pictures all over their Instagram hanging out together. And I'm like, they still had the pictures up there. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is your friend. You're taking buddy shots. And this guy raped this girl and you still have these pictures up. And so I'm just like, I make a video like mocking, like, isn't this you? This looks like you. Isn't that the guy hanging out with you and the girl that he also assaulted? And you knew about it and said nothing and did nothing. So that took off and everybody gets the details and they just start attacking him. And he, he had already kind of addressed it, but he's been silent ever since. Meanwhile, my merch drops at the same time. So I'm just like, this became like this whole thing where I'm just like mocking them for days. So like my content for the last 2 or 3 days has literally just been about the Gemini official situation, banging a 15-year-old girl until he got canceled, and then these two dudes who are both a part of the problem. Yeah. One, I won't say so much that Mr. B Better is a rapist. I'm not going to say that. His friend is.
Yeah.
Based on all the information. But he is a part of the problem, and he is a giant toxic hypocrite for anybody that doesn't side with his, perspective. He'll just attack people. He'll send waves of hate after people. He'll condemn people left and right. He'll act better than everybody, be better. And, then when it comes to it's his friend is guilty, he just goes completely silent and says, "Oh, I don't want to talk about these issues." And so I make a bunch of videos, and it's been crazy. So I didn't want to get into all the details of that, but that's really the only way to explain the merch of I was already building up to the joke.
Yeah.
And then this all happened, and I was like, now this is a great angle where I can actually be like, I'm better than you. I am better than you because one, I just make jokes. I don't actually do it. Isn't that ironic that the joke I actually made that got me into a bunch of trouble? I love how you're just obsessed with it. But one of the jokes I made that I thought was so witty when everybody was mad, because, I just made one joke about a subject, and whenever anybody gets super mad, then I have no choice but to just keep making more jokes.
Yeah.
And so people would just come at me like, "You're not supposed to joke about rape. How dare you?" And it's like, well, I never would joke about somebody's personal trauma. I'm not saying, "Ha, rape is funny," or "I'm glad you got raped," or anything like that. That's never what my jokes are.
Yeah.
It's like a pun, whatever. Anyways, they all came at me and said, "No, you're never allowed to make a joke about rape." So then I made the joke about okay, I won't joke about it. And then it just I made it creepy where it implies I'll do it. That was the joke, but it's only a joke because it's funny to be "Oh, you guys don't like jokes about it, then I won't joke about it." And that was I just left it at that, and people just, they freak out. And it was very creative and well done. And I thought it was a brilliant joke because of that connection of what's worse, joking about it or not joking about it. Meanwhile, this dude who attacked me for the joke, both the dudes who attacked me for joking about it, guess what? He didn't joke about it. How ironic is that? He actually did it. So I made more jokes of that nature where I was just "Hey, you guys want to know the difference between me and this guy? One time I told a joke about sexual assault, and one time he didn't." Get it? Because he did it. And it's it's the same joke pretty much. Yeah. It's the exact same joke.
No, yeah.
But it's just now framing it in a different way to be see, that was the joke to begin with, but now you have you got the hypocritical angle and everything. Is so funny.
It's so crazy.
And then just today I posted the video singing a song about it, which is so great because the guy literally posted a video coming out dancing in celebration when I got banned for making jokes. Mm-hmm. And then he's deleted both his accounts on his own. He's locked down all his comments on Instagram. He's hiding away. His apology was, I'm just going to delete my account because, my ego got too big and I'm not going to be on TikTok anymore. And then pretty much begs her not to press charges. That was the angle that she was saying is, he just was begging me basically not to go to the cops. She thinks it was pretty severe. Yeah. And then he just disappears, and then he locks down his comments, and then he just is I don't want to get in trouble with my school, and he just goes into the sunset. And it's no, I'm not going to let that fly. You can't. You made me your enemy, and I'm just gonna. He tried to he threatened to fight me over jokes one time. Mm-hmm. And now I'm beating them down with these jokes. Yeah. I just keep boom, 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 which is kind of my style. Take one joke and just keep twisting the knife as many times as possible. So that brings us up to, it's kind of a very vague explanation because I don't want to name all these people. And it is a bunch of just personal drama. And, I have a chip on my shoulder, of course. And I am not afraid to be petty, as we know. And then I got duetted by some other big TikTokers who I will name. Shout out to Bar None and Beer Bong John, two big TikTokers. If you're on TikTok, you know who they are. But they did a shout out to me. They were like, "Nick Foster, you are one of the most petty TikTokers I have ever seen." And then explains how my merch dropped, and it was just mocking his merch. Yeah. And I was just yep, I might be better, but I'm petty as fuck. Sorry, Mom. So yeah, this is our merch now. Official, I am better because I do not rape women in their sleep. And I will actually call out the perpetrators of real problems in society, and I will do it through the very same jokes that they said were the problems. So quite ironic twist of the week, and has fueled me with a lot of laughter and content and merch. And now we're selling some merch. But I am going to be designing some legit merch that is not just, I have a lot of jokes that I want to do with merch, which I think will be funny. And it will be one of my shirts for sure, because I just think it's so fitting until Mr. Be Better retires his shirt. And then maybe I'll retire this one. It's up to you, bro. But we're going to have some more merch coming, and then we're going to release some merch for this podcast, and many more jokes I'm sure are going to come down the line as more TikTok controversy starts going. So yeah, that's the drama of the week, and now we're here.
I know.
What else happened this week, Erin?
Well, I've had like a few things happen.
Okay, good. It's about time that we get into some of Erin's weekly details instead of Nick's constant TikTok drama.
Well, no, like the thing that happened today when I was out walking my mom's dog. My mom's on vacation right now, so I'm dog sitting. And then the neighbor's like, oh, like, how you doing? I was like, oh, I'm doing great. You know, we have a little conversation. And then she's like, well, like, how are you getting along? And she like holds her belly type thing. And I'm just like, in my head, like, split second, like, is it about the miscarriage or does she think I'm pregnant still? Like, what is going on? I was just
awkward.
Like, I know. I was just like, oh, well, you know. And she's just like, said something else, and I was just like, then I realized, like, oh, she thinks I'm still pregnant. And so I was like, I had a miscarriage. And she's like, oh my gosh. And she's like, you can see her like backtracking and stuff. And then, you know, it was like, oh, it's fine. You know, we kind of did the back and forth thing a little bit, and this happens, She's had friends who had it happen too. They had kids now, this or that. And then she's like, oh, I should have put my foot in my mouth. Like,
that is
really,
so
it's
awkward.
fine. Like, I wonder how many people know that, like, you know, haven't heard the news. Random little people that just like in passing that.
I think more than we think. It seems a lot of people heard the news when we announced it, and we were shocked by how many people watched our podcast because so many people got the news, but not as many people got the other news.
Yeah, that
a couple of weeks later. Yeah. Surprise, it's not a baby.
So yeah, that was like, oh, like that kind of sucked.
That is super awkward. It's a tough thing. I mean,
it's fine.
Even just talking about it, because it's come up in other conversations that I've had with people, and obviously doing the other podcasts with like TikTokers, and people will ask like, so how's the baby? Or people will ask things, and then I'm like, oh,
like,
yeah.
Damn it, didn't you already hear? Yeah. Like, do I need to explain this again? I'm like,
what do I say? Because I hate that, because I don't, like, I'm fine with it and I'm over it. And, you know, but I recognize it's like when your grandma dies and you're just like, yeah, my grandma died this weekend, and you're like fine with it.
Yeah.
But they're all just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You can see their demeanor just completely change.
I just don't even want to tell you, because you're going to make it like such a sad thing. And then I have to be like, no, it's fine. I don't care. But I really am like, no, it's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
That was with her. That was like my first person that I've actually seen it with. Like everybody else is like friends or, you know, and then telling them it was, but this was like a stranger, and then seeing that, and they're just like, oh shit, like I should have never asked, like I'm so sorry.
And then it makes you feel,
it's fine.
It makes you feel, well, me too. It makes me like feel like, do they think I'm playing for sympathy right now? Do they think I'm like trying to get it? You know how some people do that? They're just like, oh, it's, yeah, I had a miscarriage, and like they just want the pity.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get uncomfortable, like this motherfucker. Now I have to like be all sad for them.
But I think how they see us,
I hope. But that's what I hate it two ways, because I'm like, one, I don't want them to be getting all weird about like, oh, I'm so sorry, if they're genuine, and I don't want them to be getting all, I'm so sorry, if they're just like trying to give me pity because they think that's what I'm. Now I feel like I'm a piece of shit too for even bringing it up. So I don't even want to bring it up. But really, I just want to be like, guys, I mean, yeah, it happened, and move on. It's cool.
So, though, like kind of getting into it a little bit. So the initial shock wore off like a week later, and I took a microdose of shrooms. And I was like, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I found this great playlist. I was just doing yoga in the room, like in my vibe, like low lights. It was beautiful. And like this song came on, and it was just like talking about like this voice of an angel, a fucking angel, came on and she was singing to me. Like she made this song for me, just talking about like things are gonna get better and like calling me darling and like you're so beautiful and like all these things. I'm just like bawling my eyes out, like sitting on my mat, like naked, like so raw. It was such a raw moment. And then eventually like you came in the room.
Ruined her vibe.
No, but like you were there and we were like doing our own thing, but like together. And then you like flipped on your stomach and then you didn't have a shirt on. So then I eventually like came up and I just like hugged your back. And I was just like melted into you and like became super fucking connected to you.
And I slowly felt tears dripping down my back.
I had such a moment. I just felt like our whole boom, like this whole life and everything that was gonna be and like this whole thing and like our loss. I like, that was the first time I had actually like cried and grieved for it, really, like let myself feel. And it was such a beautiful moment. And I'm like laughing to myself too as I'm doing this because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just like on Nick, like having this whole moment. And he's like completely unaware of this.
Oh, I was aware.
Except for like, yeah, the tears.
I could feel that, what was going on.
Yeah, but I felt like you were also there with me. I was just like.
I was like, I don't want to ruin this moment for her.
No.
And also, I'm just on my phone, like dealing with my own bullshit TikTok drama. And I'm like, Erin is having this deep philosophical, emotional connection to her spirit in the universe and grieving for the loss of a child. And I'm over here like, dude, fuck this be better dude, or whatever drama I was involved in.
But then I like started laughing afterwards. Like once I was just like, I had my moment and I like started laughing and I was like wiping my tears and stuff. And you were just saying like, are you a little wethead up there and stuff? And I was like,
of course, I go right to mocking her sadness and her moment of clarity and like grief. And I'm just
like, it was just so beautiful.
Oh, are you crying? Oh, your baby died. Oh, poor baby.
It was fucking amazing. I love how psychedelics can just really make you feel and work through things.
Yeah. It was good for you. I could tell.
Oh my gosh. And like the playlist that I'd chosen that I had never heard before, every single song just like had this different fucking vibe and hit a different string and like a different thing that I needed in that moment. And it was just so beautiful. It was such a great moment. I highly suggest microdosing. Like,
speaking of hitting different strings, you know what Gemini Official's favorite string is? The A minor.
Ooh.
But that's not even that great of a joke.
But I just got the minor part.
I know. I kind of set it up bad. I could have used it better. Yeah, no, it was we were doing the little microdosing each night. It was like we're taking a microdose, but we're kind of tripping. We weren't taking a heavy mushroom dose, but there were a couple nights where I was like, I'm kind of tripping a bit.
Yeah.
But I could always tell when it kicked in because we kind of were doing our own thing. And then I would be like, where's Erin? Because I'm in here with lights on and doing stuff. But then my vibe starts to go. One night I was doing a podcast with I forget which guest. I think
it was Spooner.
Uncle Dan. It was Uncle Dan.
No. Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Dan because we talked about it on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I was tripping before it started because we took the mushrooms and I forgot that I took them.
Yeah.
And I was like getting ready for the podcast. Yeah. And I just kind of forgot because it was like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I started feeling really weird, right? But I was like, what? Am I nervous? Did the caffeine, did I drink too much caffeine? What is going on here? And I couldn't really put it together. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I took the mushrooms. But I ended up still doing the podcast and I was fine. And we had a whole conversation about mushrooms. I was like, thank God you like understand, so cool, because I almost was like thinking I was going to be too weird or whatever. But I'd be in here a lot of nights working. And then it would kick in and I'd be like, where's Erin? And I'd go around the corner and all the lights are off and you have like ambiance, you have like mood lighting set and you're just laying naked on the floor on your yoga mat and you got like music playing that's so like emotional and sad. But it wasn't like lyrical music. It was like, it's just like almost classical type.
Yeah, instrumental and stuff. Yeah.
And I'd be like,
such yogi vibes.
She's in a vibe right now.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want to go in, but I'm always, because I understand mushrooms too very well, and I never want to like fuck up your vibe, and I'm always wary of like I don't want to like but then our chemistry mix, but then we're fine. Our chemistry was fine.
Yeah.
And even though I was in my own space, I was like, best thing to do is just be here near her if she needs me.
Yeah.
But don't talk. Don't have to do anything.
And I was doing my own thing. I kept doing my yoga and stuff. That was when I was really getting back into like yoga, and I would do it for like hours. And I love that. I miss that. I used to do that when you first met me, and I had that yoga room over there. Now it's the guest bedroom, but
now it's mostly storage for all my shit.
I know, it's like a guest bedroom, but it's storage.
It's like all my clothes are laid out that I have to like switch shirts all the time.
Yeah.
And then
I have a bunch of shells in there that I was gonna use for my macrame.
Well, we started clearing it out to make a nice little baby nursery.
Then we're just like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Just
after the news, we're just like, okay, well,
storage.
Throw some shit in there, move on with our lives. We don't need it's a good thing we didn't like actually design that whole room. Don't you think? Oh, you're like,
I don't know. Well, not design, but like could have painted and all that. I'm still going to paint everything because like I want to get like new paint in there. And I'm still like decking it out in a sense of like, it can be like the guest bedroom, but I took that like wallpaper off and like all these things. So that way, like later down the road, if we do have a kid, it's like, or like when we do have a kid, it's
when,
if I can have one. Anyways,
I know I can.
That's true. Maybe it was your DNA that was jacked up.
Nah.
I think so.
I don't know about that.
That's probably what it was.
I don't know.
I need to take this away.
It's your fault. No, it's your fault.
No, but because I'm such a busy bee, and so I need to just like do all of it now, so that way, like when I do get pregnant again, I can chill.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Don't ride any roller coasters. No, I think that is it. I mean, we'll obviously take it more seriously and more easy in the first trimester for the next one.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm just kind of like in the mindset of like, I should still be able to live my life. Everything that I did before this, I should be able to do it after.
I don't think you did anything that was bad.
No, I know.
I mean, yes, we talked about the roller coaster, but that was way early, and that was not that serious.
No, I know.
And,
something just
and it was, and we
wrong.
got the ultrasound after, and it was fine.
Yeah,
and it was weeks after. I just don't think that's related. I think it's just these things happen.
I know.
You know? And after that, what did we do? It's like, we did go outside hiking sometime, but it's not like we're climbing a mountain. We're like walking up a slow incline. And still, like,
if I could climb up a fucking mountain, I should be allowed to do that while I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
I feel like you're supposed to be able to do anything
we would, though.
while you're pregnant. I know, I would.
If we can't do that, then I guess we're not going to have a kid because we're going to sometimes do that.
That'd be such a sacrifice.
Okay, then stop climbing mountains. I know. Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
I would sacrifice, but also...
I won't be happy about it. This kid better come out perfect.
It would suck.
All right, we'll be right back. Erin wants to take my face off now.
I wanted a regular shirt on.
Okay, you can do it. It's okay. You can do it if you want. Yeah. If you're trying to show off your body. now that you're not pregnant, you're right back to your hot bod.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was still pretty hot even when you were pregnant.
I did pop a little.
I think it was mostly a pizza and bloating.
It was probably, constipation.
So what's your feelings now on all of that? You know, we talked a little bit about, it's like we were over it and we were making a lot of jokes the first week and we kind of got over it fast, but then it came in waves for you.
It was more, I think it was shock.
Yeah.
And like it was joking about and everything, which is fine. I'm good with that. I could do that even while I was like grieving and stuff. Like I can still make jokes about it and be lighthearted and still know that this was meant to be and stuff. But I think now I have done my grieving, which is amazing because when I had that first night where I was on the shrooms and I cried and stuff, and then like the day had passed or something, and I'm just like, wow, that's what real grieving is, I guess. Because I didn't grieve after my dad had died, really. It's like sometimes I would cry listening to music and stuff like that, but I think I mostly blocked it out and just kept trying to live my life and make it as normal as possible and as crazy and like drug-filled as I possibly could to forget everything. So I thought like, oh wow, I felt lighter. I was like, that's so cleansing. That was beautiful. It's such a good thing. I'm like, I'm better now.
Hey, name. See how fitting this is all the time? At first I thought it'd be a great joke just to be like, when he says be better, it's like, you cured me, I'm better. That's one way. And then it could be like, I'm better than you. Like, hey, you got problems, I'm better. Yeah. And now it's like,
I'm just better now.
I'm better. I'm all better.
Yeah, I'm all better.
It works. Brought to you by Nick Foster.
Yeah. Link in bio.
Link in the description of this YouTube or on my link tree on all my social medias. You'll find it. Click the merch button on there. Yeah. Eventually I'm going to set up an actual website for all of this.
So then I had like had that moment and it was beautiful.
Of like actually grieving.
Yeah. But then because I'd have therapy too. So I talked about in therapy a little bit. And I had another night on mushrooms and it was a very like dark one, not really, but like kind of. And I remember there was this point where the room is like lit up in the ambiance and stuff, and I like went into the bathroom for some reason because like it's a little close, smaller, and I needed to be like confined. Sometimes I need to do that. I used to go. Okay, anyways.
It's like, I don't want to tell that weird story.
It's just like, I used to go into like my closet to like feel like safe.
No,
and like
I get it.
Emily and I, like when we would get like high as fuck and my mom would be home, like I'd have her like, we have to go into the closet and be quiet. And like, I don't know. It's like whatever. But I like confined spaces make me like feel better sometimes, but not too confined because I can get claustrophobic. But anyways, I went into like the closet and I'm like in this dark room and like everything is like light out there. And I was just so sad. I was just, I had so many thoughts. Okay, like about like friends and like I felt and like the loss and like I just literally felt so alone. I felt so alone. And I had no one to really talk to about this because, you know, I just don't. Basically, I couldn't get what I don't want to put my problems onto other people. And I don't feel like I can get what I need from certain people either. It's like I'm not looking for anything, but when I go to people sometimes, it doesn't feel fulfilling. So it's like, why did I just do this? I didn't get anything out of this.
I feel that. And you feel kind of stupid.
And
like,
yeah.
Oh God.
And it's like, and then
why did I even say
And then
all
I get
that?
like the pity part. And it's like, well, I didn't even, I don't know. And
yeah,
so it's
that's not
just
even
like,
what you want. You don't even know what you want,
yeah,
but it's not that.
It's definitely not pity.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's
I know, and
whole conundrum.
I think that's a big reason why I just kind of keep it to my, a lot of people just close up and you just are like, and sometimes that's people talk about that as a terrible thing. You got to talk to somebody. It's like, I don't really buy that. Yes, when they say that, they mean you got to talk to somebody who resonates with you and actually gives you what you're looking for. Yeah. And it's not just talk to anybody. If you just go talk to somebody who's like I was telling you about people who are, now on social media and they have these audiences and young kids will reach out and be like, I'm going through this hard time. And some of these big creators will be like, if you are ever going through a bad time, hit me up and I'll talk to you. And it's like, you're not really going to care about them on the real level that they really need. They need somebody that's like truly invested in them.
Yeah.
And otherwise it's just, they're going to be dumping this problem on you and then they're going to feel stupid after, or they're going to need more of that from you. And then you're opening yourself up to constantly doing this.
Yeah.
And I don't really believe that just this idea of, guys, if you're going through a hard time, talk to somebody. Yes, but they mean talk to somebody that
can help and
can talk well with you and really invest and really be there and non-judgmental and really be listening. Don't just talk to somebody who doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Or somebody who's just like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do, so now I'm going to listen, but I'm really thinking about when's my boyfriend going to text me or whatever's going on.
For sure.
And there's a lot of that, and then you just feel stupid. You're like, I just talked to this person, and then it really was just like, did I just dump shit on them and now they judge me for it more?
Yeah.
And
so that's why I just felt like so alone because I didn't have like anybody do that. And like,
Me?
because we had like already.
I see the look she's giving me. She's like, Nick, here we go. Here we go.
Because because I had never really grieved before, and so I thought I had already grieved, and I had already grieved with you, and so
you seemed afraid to do it with me or in front of me because you thought maybe like
because I thought it was just like a weird thing. I didn't realize that this was actually like a. I don't know.
It was comes and goes in waves.
Yeah, and so like I'm like learning that, though I know that logically with my dad, but I was like, oh, but that's because I haven't grieved I didn't grieve for 10 years, and now that's why it's like up and down. But I guess that's just kind of how it is, and like, you know, and I'm just learning that with this, and it's like because it wasn't actually like a thing, it was more of a thought. A child was more of a thought that I thought, okay, I had a really good night of grieving, then that's it. Yeah. So then once I had another feeling, I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, am I supposed to like come to you again and grieve about this? Like, I don't know. I didn't know where to go.
And that's it. I came in the room and I could tell you were having a moment.
No, I know.
I kind of had to get it out of you.
I know. And then like you like held me and like all these things. Yeah. I just asked. I was like, you were like asking me all those questions, and I was like, I just can't talk right now. Like, just hold me, because I don't know what to say. Yeah. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want words. I just wanted to be like held, and like it was really.
And
sweet,
I tried to reassure you because I was like, I too recognize that. I don't want you to feel like you have to be over it just because I'm over it.
No.
You don't have to be.
I know. And it's just
you're
hard
allowed
too.
to come to me and say, I'm still sad about it. It's okay.
I've never had someone that I can like do that with either. So it's like.
And now you're stuck with me.
It's really sweet, and I love that. And it's very different. And I'm not the type either who does reach out to people. So it's like, but I'm now at this part where like I was feeling so alone, but like I wanted to reach out, but I don't want to burden my problems on other people, and I don't want like a pity party thing, and it's like, so it's just like this like thing. And then so basically I went to my therapist and I did some energy work. I did some Reiki, and
some hippy dippy new age bullshit.
Yeah, some energy work. It was beautiful.
She was just like, yeah, and it's beautiful. I don't care that it's bullshit. I don't know. I mean, but it sounds like it.
It's whether.
Let me just scrape your back with some. What is Reiki? I imagine a Reiki like, what is it?
It's energy work. It's like where they like can touch like certain body parts, or they kind of like.
I wish you could see my face right now if you're not watching. I'm
like
just
palm work, and they move the energy like through your body, and they transfer their energy like into yours, and like move your energy around and stuff.
My judgment.
And, like, so that's the thing. Like, I have a very open mind. I know you do too. I know you do too. But it's like certain things you're just immediately like fake. Like
no, I
fake news.
I understand that there is benefits from believing.
Do you believe in energy?
Well, yes, energy is real, but not in the way that you're using the word.
Do you think that if we go like this, do you think we can, well, don't touch me, but like, do you think there is a thing like where we can kind of feel like this energy? Do you feel me like
you're moving air particles around me?
So like, that's like energy.
No,
we're
it's
moving
called matter,
energy
and it's called
matter
basic physics
and like all of
and
that
real stuff. My point is, do I think that's going to infuse my body in some type of way to do anything deep and meaningful? No.
It's you have to be open to it.
Yes.
And it can heal you physically and or mentally as well. And so in my experience, it has.
Is that how they cure cancer these days? Let me just whoa. You're cured. It's like, no, bro, you need some chemo. Sorry.
No.
Let's give you some energy of chemotherapy. That's energy.
I do think though that the physical, the
doctors
mental
right now are like,
of it.
We did not go to 10 years of medical school to hear somebody go, how about a little palm energy to cure your ailments?
Whatever.
I get, look, sitting down and just thinking positively and thinking amazing things, it has a benefit. Sure.
That's the thing. I'm not thinking.
Well,
I am not thinking anything.
I'm just saying there's explanations outside of it's the energy.
So when she is doing Reiki on me, because I meditate and stuff, I go into like a meditative state where I just like focus on my breath and I kind of like let go and let anything come to me that comes to me. And there was a moment, there have been the first one was amazing. I don't remember all my experiences. I have them written down, but they were really.
That sounds sus.
Oh my God.
I was with this woman who wanted to try some new age therapies on me, and I forget the rest of what happened. Were you hanging out with Be Better's friend?
No.
Okay, because I hear his
nothing happened.
His patients don't remember much either.
But it was very beautiful. And so this one though, after the like I had that alone feeling and stuff. Like in the beginning, she does this thing where she kind of just calls whatever has like, whatever energies want to come into the room that have like good thoughts for me or like can bring goodness to me and stuff. And she goes and she literally she's doing like things like with my third eye and like
she's touching her all over her special spots on her body.
My head. Yeah. But then she comes and like she touches my shoulder like this. Mm-hmm. And immediately I get this sense of my father is there. He is the one holding my shoulder and he is proud of me. And like I am just overcome with this sensation and this feeling, and I start bawling my eyes out, and it was such a beautiful experience because like I've never, like I've always wanted that of like, oh, like when I was graduating high school or like getting my associate's degree, it's like, oh, like I wish he was here, and like all these other things that I'm doing, and I'm like trying to make my own like business on my own and stuff. And he was very all about that and all these things. It's like, oh, I wish he was here to like see this. And like he just like came to me and just like made me feel so good and told me that he was proud of me. And like these aren't things that I'm like, I don't think that, yes, I needed that, but I'm not faking this. Like I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't going in here and being like, all right, now I'm like thinking this. And like there was another time too where she was the last session, and she was doing like her work and like just breathing and like moving energy and stuff. And I had just this like feeling of like this like sexuality like in my, and like because I have like
hey, that's kind of the joke I was making before with touching all over your.
I know. I felt so like sexy and just so like coming into my own and like open up this way and like.
Well, I got news for you, Erin. I got news for you. With that shirt on, you are so gorgeous. Look at that face right there.
I just have my own issues from my past.
Let me just say for the record, when the shirt's off, it's even better.
I just have my own issues from my past. So it's like sexuality is such like a weird thing for me. And like expressing that is very hard, though I want to so bad. And I really do try. And acknowledging that is weird when people acknowledge it in me too. It's like, it's like a whole thing. But I love it. I love being sexual. I love sexual experiences. I love like these things.
I love it too.
So it's like it's like a fight in me though. And so I want to like get that off of me. I just want to be a sexual being that we all are, and like just keep that up. And so I had this like sexual energy running through me, and it was very strange to be laying there as this woman is just like working over me or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God. And all these thoughts are just like going in my head and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck? And so afterwards.
And then she just started coming everywhere.
But she like.
That sounds like the start of a porno, Erin. Please, can we turn it into that?
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
That's our new intro song.
But no, so like she was.
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
That's awesome. She was like going over things that she had kind of felt about, because like I felt very at peace and just like relaxed, and she was like talking about that. She was like, I felt like this one's very relaxed this time, and so that I was like, yeah, I felt that too. And then at the end of it, like when I was about to leave, she was like, so I felt like a sexual energy too, and I was like, oh my God, so did I.
It is the start of a porno.
But she was saying like,
who's going to pay for this pizza now? Oh, no.
She gets like
I guess we're going to have to make a deal.
Oh, my God.
What?
I do love pizza, though.
Don't ruin my fantasy, Erin.
She she like attracts a lot of clients who are open-minded, but some aren't, and they'll like try the Reiki and it doesn't really happen for them, or like they're kind of off the wavelength and stuff.
Like me, it would be, I'd just be like, that, can you just give me a massage? That feels good. But,
oh no, it's not. Yeah, it's like,
oh, can you send more energy into me?
Yeah. But and she was like, I love when I actually meet people, because she like attracts these people. Because like how I found her was, I found this website. You pay a monthly
HippiesRUs.com
subscription. You buy a yearly subscription, lifetime subscription to this website, and then you can put in what type of therapist you're looking for, all the things you want to work on, and then it gives you a list of people in your area. So I was scrolling through pictures and I saw her, and I immediately was like, yes,
I want to do a porno with her. A little
she's
porno
the
session.
one. She is the one. And like we have connected, and like we are just so on the same wavelength.
That
and,
is
like,
important, and that's what
the energy I get off. She literally can read it. I came into came in one day, and like she knew something was fucking wrong, and I was just like, how the fuck did you know this?
There's a chemistry between people. That's why when people are just like, you need to talk to somebody and get a therapist and all, it's
you have to find the right one for you.
You don't just go to the fucking therapist near me. Oh, they're a therapist. I went and talked to them and I feel worse afterwards.
Yeah, you have to find the one that works for you.
You gotta find the one you vibe with.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing.
Really search, and like if we could put this website in the description below, that would be great.
I mean,
so we'll do that. We'll put that in the link below. I don't have it.
Well,
Open Path or something. Oh. Openpath.com.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah.
But now I have to remember to do that.
I will.
Okay. When you're editing the podcast, you'll just let me know.
It's a great website because too, you can like scroll through all of the people, and it's very affordable. The sessions are between $35 and $65 a session, and it's $55 to join the website, and it's for a lifetime. So if you can't afford a therapist right now or something, you can find one in a few months or whatever you want. Yeah. And just buy the website now.
And if you find the one you want and go and have a good conversation, then even you can be better too.
You can get a pizza session as well.
Yeah, bow chicka bow wow. No, I'm making jokes, but I know it's important, and I know it's some people
helping.
Really need it, and I can tell it's helping you, and it is good. You come back and you feel better, and that's because
then after therapy too, I go to Fort DeSoto.
Well, I think maybe that's the other thing too.
And I like paddleboard by myself.
If you're doing a test, but you're like, I always come back after therapy and I feel much better. But she always leaves out that she also goes to paddleboard at the beach.
And I rethink. I process everything that's happened. I have a whole day to myself.
What if that is the thing that makes you feel better?
It's not. I used to do that before.
Oh, that's true. But for other people, some people just need to get out of their house and go sit in nature for a while and think about life. And then they'll be like,
I need things to bounce. I need to bounce things off of people or more. I just need to talk and get it off my chest. That's why sometimes you fall subjected to my word vomit and you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't go to therapy till Tuesday and fuck.
You're the only
right
person
now.
I talk to. So, and I'm just like, cool.
God damn
Thanks
it, Erin.
for dumping it on to me now.
Can we not just have fun?
Hey, it's fine. It's fine if you're just talking about things about you. But when a lot of it is about me too, it's like, okay, you just fucked up my own head. You make me doubt everything.
Well, that was, comparing you to my dad.
Yeah, I was like, where is this coming from?
I don't know.
On that note, we got to take another break.
Just needed to come out.
We'll keep this going, but
let's talk about my dad.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
All right.
Okay, we'll be right back. And we're back.
We're back.
We did take a little longer break, so I kind of forgot what we were just talking about. I mean, I know that
it's very hot.
Oh, are you getting all hot and bothered?
Yeah, the energy
we were talking about your little porno intro.
Yeah.
Bow chicka bow wow. But,
yeah.
Yeah. No, it seems to be helping you.
Yes. I am very happy with that. I'm so glad that I found her. I think everybody should go into therapy. I think you should just try it out, see what happens. Yeah.
Oh, that's where we were talking about dumping word vomit onto me and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I absolutely
issues and
agree.
Trauma, what degree of trauma it is, doesn't matter. Trauma is trauma.
I mean, I'm kind of curious to go and speak to a therapist because there's nothing I love more than talking about myself. So it'd be pretty fun just to have somebody be like, wow, you're deep like an onion, and just to have to peel all the layers off me. But also, I would never reveal them all.
Yeah.
It's like I'm such a
You
puzzle.
need to want to go, and you need to want to.
I would just make jokes. I mean, listen to me now.
Yeah.
I can't even be serious for 2 minutes. I am. This is just how I am. It's like I'm being multiple things at the same time because I am much more, blink, 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 blink if you need help.
Blink, blink.
But I do absolutely believe talking to people is one of the most therapeutic things ever. Mm-hmm. But I find that that's why I like to talk to lots of people or do podcasts or do anything.
Yeah.
Any form of talking and being able to express opinions or situations, it helps you form your thoughts. And you can have one person to talk to. And we've talked about this too, where like, I need to talk to more people than just you. It's like I talk about certain things with you and I let you in on a deeper level because we have trust and commitment with each other and we know we're not going to hurt each other. But I need to see myself through the eyes of other people too. And then even like just doing this podcast, I'm like talking with you, but I'm also thinking about the audience and I'm being a bit a character, but also real, but it gives a different perspective of me. And I just think like a therapist is just kind of that as well. It's just somebody who's like interested in hearing what you're saying and you're allowed to sit and talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. And a lot of people just don't do that. But I think I do that a lot.
They can give you like a different perspective, and they can also give you ways like tools to work through things. That's what I like.
In that sense,
when you need certain things to work on, they can give you that.
But I honestly feel like I have a lot of the tools in myself for what works for me.
Yeah, of course.
I just need people to bounce things off of some, and that's why I like podcasting or like going out and socializing and talking to people and talking and going to parties and stuff where I'm not going to parties just to get drunk and just like, I'm talking. I love to talk. I'm just a talker, That is my therapy. And I come back feeling so fresh and so centered. And so like I got parts out of me that I needed to express, and maybe they weren't coming out when I was just stuck inside all day. Or if you're just hanging out with your family all day or your girlfriend or a friend or whoever it is. And we talked about this from your perspective too, where you love me and you can talk to me, but also I got my own shit going on. So I'm not always as available, like present wise.
Yeah.
But you also then can just be stuck in the wavelength that you are with me, where you're like, okay, I can talk to Nick and he doesn't judge me, but also maybe there's some things I need to express that I can't really express to Nick, or Nick isn't the right person to express it to, or isn't the right feedback for you, where like I can tell you you're beautiful and you're smart and you are aware. And I tell you a lot of these things that you sometimes have self-doubts about, but maybe you don't need to hear that from me. Maybe you need to hear it from somebody else.
Yeah.
But because you're not engaging with other people and you don't really talk to other people, you're only talking to me, it's easy to just view yourself through the lens of me. And then you hear it from other people, or you talk to a therapist and she reconfirms things. And that sometimes, as much as couples don't like to admit that, can sometimes mean a lot more.
No, it's not. Whether it's more or not,
okay,
is not the right word.
It just is more effective to kind of make you. It
hits a different way.
Whatever, however you want to.
A different
semantics.
Way. Yeah, it doesn't mean more.
I get you.
Because when you say it, I need you to say that.
No.
So it doesn't mean more is coming from someone else. Because if you never said it, only other people said it, then I wouldn't want to be with you.
Well, because it's all a balance. It's like you need multiple angles.
It's just different. I need it.
And that's where I'm like, for almost all people, I think most people who are, I don't know, not depressed or whatever, but people who need to talk to somebody, it's not just talk to one person. Maybe you need to talk to a lot of people. Maybe you need to talk to the right people. Well, there's different variations, but it's not like you just go and talk, like call up your friend and just say, hey, can I talk to you? And then they're like, okay, I'll listen.
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel better. I don't think that's the truth.
So I think the more indifferent is very, the right is very spot on. You need to definitely talk to the right person, the person who is going to give you that feedback that you need or you're looking for or something like that.
But you don't always know.
Until you talk to a bunch
it.
of people. And that's like the thing. It's like, that's why you go through therapists.
No, but I'm saying people don't know. They don't know like, oh, I'm looking for a type of person who's going to give me this type of feedback. You don't know it until you know it. Oh, and then you're just like, I talked to this person for an hour. It flew by and I feel better.
Yeah.
Whereas somebody else, you're like, I talked to somebody. Is this supposed to cure me? Because I feel worse. Mm-hmm. And you may not even know why.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy.
Human. I'm on the verge of sneezing. So I'm like, do I get into a point or do I sneeze it out? I think it's going away now. Just talk it away. You know, once you address the sneeze, it's like, oh, it's gone.
If you would have looked into the light, it would have came.
The lights are surrounding us right now. I think human interaction is one of the most important, meaningful, cathartic, therapeutic things humans can do. Mm-hmm. As much as people say you need to go out into nature and do those things, and I believe that. I used to be such a person, like go out into nature when I was like kind of lonely in my younger years when I didn't really socialize, but I was always daydreaming about and longing for like human interaction that I didn't even know I was longing for, you know? And I think a lot of people can just fall into loneliness and fall into self-reliance and all these things. But once you break out of that and you actually talk to other people and you really learn how to connect with other people and learn how to feel confident in that arena, that overtook like all of the things in my life of like, that's all I want to do is just kind of talk and vibe with people. And that is the most fulfilling, most therapeutic moments I ever have is just, and it doesn't have to be at a therapy session. I really believe just having a good group of friends or just going and meeting new people and striking up a new conversation. There's nothing more enjoyable. Like here's the thing. Here's an example. It's
for
like,
you, yeah.
Well, sure. I think for a lot of people when they can get there, but a lot of people
I can have a bunch of conversations with people, but it's like it's very few and far between that I actually feel like that was a really good conversation.
I see what
like
you're saying.
I can connect with people and like we connect, but it's like I don't have these like deeper conversations with
I'm much
I like
better.
the really deep conversations with people. That's what I like. I don't like these surface like things, and I think yours is more like flirting and having these types of conversations. We're gonna go this way or that way type thing.
It's all of the above.
I think that's where you get a lot of your,
I can connect on almost any type of conversational level.
Sure, yeah.
Deep to surface to bullshit to jokes to empathy, whatever I want to tune into, I can tune into it, but I have a lot of tools in my toolkit.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people do have kind of a few wavelengths that they hit. And it's not that they can't expand that, but maybe they haven't had as much confidence and practice in it as I have, that's not their comfort zone. But for me, it livens me up and it pulls me out of it.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's like, I might have this great idea that is like something I'm thinking about, but I can only formulate the idea when I'm talking it, like bouncing it off somebody else, like you said. But maybe there's an idea that I've talked about before with somebody. Like I've had, the same story with like my family 10 different times. You'll run into friends or family who will literally tell you the story that they already told you the last 10 times. And you're like, I've heard this story before. I don't want to hear it again. And that's it's a feedback where both parties can feel like, well, that kind of felt lame talking about that. Like you just feel like the person telling the same story for the 10th time. But when you meet a new person at a party and you strike up the story that you've already told 10 times, but now you know how to hit all the exciting points of the story and they've never heard it and they're like tuned in and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You're sitting here having this amazing moment of like, I get to tell this story in a new exciting way to a new person. Whereas the other person right next to them is like, I've heard the story 100 times and I don't care. And it's like, you can feel that energy difference.
Yeah.
And people need to be able to talk to other people to bounce off some of these deep stories or moments in their life or perspectives or whatever it is they're thinking of.
Yeah.
And you can't always bounce it off the same person.
Oh, for sure.
You have to bounce it off different people.
I know.
And then you get refilled with like, oh, that is an interesting story. That is an interesting moment. That I have a unique perspective. Somebody else temporarily tuned into that perspective and really connected with it and resonated with it.
Yeah.
But you might run into them the next party and it doesn't vibe the same. You know, you need a lot of people oftentimes. And most people, especially in today's society, have a very small group of friends that they can even talk to, unless you're putting yourself out there on the internet through podcasts and stuff like this. And this is a different kind of thing because it's not face to face with an audience, but we have this sense of we're talking to somebody else.
Yeah.
Whereas you and I can tell these stories that we already know what happened, but we're telling them freshly because we know there's a new audience listening.
Yeah.
But if the camera wasn't here, we wouldn't go into these stories and these details because we kind of already know them, you know? And I just feel like that's a big thing that people don't recognize and nobody's really talking about. And I think therapy is a bit of that. I think it's just therapists. I mean, yes, they have psychological tricks and they have certain tools that can help you.
Yeah.
But sometimes it really is you're just paying a person that's invested to listen to you and let you talk about your shit. But I truly believe you could just go to a party or a social event or a bar, and if you found a person who was interested in you, you would get the same positive effect from.
People don't want to hear your shit.
I'm saying
They don't care about
somebody
you.
you resonate with, not just dumping at a random bar or somebody who's sitting at the bar. No, that's not what I mean. I mean when you strike up
a
deep
party and talking to someone.
I do it all the
them
time.
All my shit.
No, I don't mean dumping it on. I'm saying having a conversation.
That's what I do to my therapist.
Yes, but you have also said that the therapist is in tune with it and is resonating with it.
No,
if she had an attitude of like, okay, well, I'm listening, but the hour's up, it wouldn't be the same thing.
She just holds space for me.
Well, that's great.
Most of the time.
But there is still a resonance. There's a feedback.
But then
and
other
energy.
things, it's like when I need, like, I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? Or is this normal? Do people feel this way?
Yeah. Well, that's
like...
where, yes, sure, a therapist can definitely have tools and more insight in these things. I'm just saying the idea of talk to somebody doesn't always mean it's solely in the context of therapists. I'm saying that people can get great fulfillment through just having deep conversations with other humans, friends, families, couples, whatever it is, strangers, whatever it is. It's just so hard for people to find that consistently and do that consistently because it takes putting yourself out there and knowing how to connect with people on those levels. And it's a lot harder. And sometimes it does take a lot more time than 30 minutes. I can do it really fast with people, but for a therapist, maybe for people who aren't very good at it, maybe sitting down with a therapist, it takes 4 sessions to kind of get into the rhythm of understanding how to communicate with that person. And then the benefits start coming. But that would not work with just going to a party because you just met them an hour ago or whatever.
I guess. Sure. Yeah.
I think the human
with
interaction
your stuff, I guess. Yeah.
But when you were saying everybody could benefit from going to therapy, including me, and I'm like, I truly believe I've found a way to do this for what I need.
You just get it from other people. Yeah.
Yeah. I connect with other people when I need to. And I feel very off when I don't do that.
If you're working through a trauma or something like that, you're not going to go to a person at the bar and be like, hey.
No, I don't mean that. I don't mean like that. Yes. Different
it's like
context.
Things you actually need to like work through.
I know, but a lot of people are in therapy for not something that's so specific and obvious as a real trauma. Sometimes it's just they're lost and they don't know why. Yeah. They're having they just don't feel like there's meaning or excitement in their life, and they don't know how to define it. Yeah. And you can bring that out. Yes, when you have a true trauma and a true grief, of course, you're not going to go talk to someone. I don't mean in a bar or whatever. I'm just saying the idea of human
there's so many reasons why to go to a therapist.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I think, go to therapists. It's not for something so obvious. Sometimes it's a very I don't know what's wrong. Yeah. I don't know why I feel this way. That's don't know. And you're just hoping for somebody to give you the answer. But those same people, I guarantee, could light up with a connection with a stranger on the street if they just had a moment of connection. Yeah. Could bring them out of this feeling of loss to be like, that was exciting, or that was fun, or that was fulfilling, or that felt like a human connection.
But
and
that's temporary. So then what? You just have to make those connections all
so
the
is
time.
therapy.
It's guaranteed in a sense, or like, you know, I don't know.
I mean, it's not guaranteed if they become out of tune with your resonance. What if they have a bad day and then their career changes, or they need to move, or what, you know,
that's not allowed.
There's a million things. Like, they're a human being too. I'm just saying.
Oh, I know. But I really want to be friends with my therapist. Like, I kind of feel like we're best friends, but I like don't know if she feels that yet.
This is the
so like
traumatized girl version of
her out.
This is literally like the girl version of, I think that stripper's really into me. Guys go to the strip club and are like, that girl was flirting with me, the stripper. I think she really likes me. I don't know. I'm getting a vibe. It's like, no, bro, you're paying her. You're at therapy. Like, I think we're going to be best friends. Are we going to go do crafts and get coffee together? No. She is getting paid to be there. Sorry. Sorry to break it to you.
Well, like maybe one day.
Oh, God. Oh, that's funny.
She's just super cool. Like, I want her to be like, I want people like her, like in my friend group. For sure. Well,
and you see more right yogis. There, you just kind of verified exactly what I said. How much more fulfilled do you think you would be if you had a bunch of friends like that in your friend group, where you could just hang out and feel like you could have these conversations with and connect with, and that would give you this feeling
on a certain level? Yes, certain things I do need therapy for.
Yeah,
but like also
therapy is something separate. I would love.
Yeah, I would love. Yeah, more open-minded, positive people in my life, for sure, that are down to like,
everybody needs that.
Go do crafts and do some macrame, or like get some plants
Paint
together.
One mushroom like, on a canvas that takes 4 days.
4 hours.
It was like 2 days. I don't know.
It was 4 hours.
Yeah, but the background and was
the night before, which was like another 6 hours.
She's learning, or not learning, but she's painting just for kind of fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I know, it seems.
Painting is not fun.
I'm impressed.
Not with someone who's a fucking perfectionist.
I am impressed.
It is very stressful.
With how first off, how it turned out. It looks pretty good.
Thank you.
It's a very empty canvas, though. There's a lot more that needs to be done. However, what you did, I'm impressed. But what I'm most impressed about you, what I always give you credit for, is your ability, like, you literally did just sit out there for 4 or 5 hours, just focused on what you were doing. Not even like, I can't do that. I have to listen to a podcast, or I'm looking at something, or I'm reading something, or I'm thinking about something.
Oh, I was in that moment.
But you do it on everything. You literally are just doing dishes, and you're just looking out the window. And I'm like, what are you thinking about?
I'm very in the moment.
And you're so calm and so fine with whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whereas if I have to do a task, I'm like, okay, I got to get prepared. Pull up a podcast. What YouTube playlist do I need in my ear? Like, and then I'm fine. It's like, if I'm going to go do yard work, it's like, I need like hours of podcast content or something. I can't just go out there with my own thoughts. I could, but
I'm very in the moment. I just like, I love hearing the sounds of everything that's going on. Like, if I'm mowing the lawn, it's like the birds and the sound of the mower and just like the smells of the things. I'm very in tune with what the fuck is happening right there. But then again, too, I listen to music while I mow.
Yeah.
But outside, when I was painting and stuff, I had music on, but it was just like, I'm very engaged with what I am doing. Like, okay, where is my next stroke going? What color now am I doing? Like, how do I make this better and like perfect? And like, these are these things.
I do the same thing sometimes. Like, how's this stroke going? Oh yeah, like that's. See, we can get pornographic in both ways. We all have our own sexual energies.
I love it though.
No, I know. I was impressed. You just sat out there.
Well, not that time, but the night before.
You were so zoned in.
Oh my God, it was stressful because I needed it to look like really good. I need it to look good. I want it to look good, but it was still nice though, figuring it out.
Oh. And you'll get more confident with that. You definitely picked an intricate design right away. To do. You look at it and it's like, oh, that's easy. But then you start doing it. It's like,
and it was just too like, because the colors I have are very solid colors, and I wanted like movement kind of in the colors, and then not to be such a blue.
Yeah.
I want it to kind of be like a light blue into a blue, and like these whole like, you know, not just very like solid stroke things. So that was very hard and interesting to get into.
You should just do like abstract really stuff with colors and just kind of go where your heart desires and see what you come up with.
That sounds very like I need to let go of my control, and I am not good at that.
No, I agree. I'm tough with that too. I'm a very creative.
I would love to. That sounds great, but
I'm very creative. I have a good design taste, I believe, when I see, but I am so much of a like, I'm in awe of artists who can just freeform something with imperfections, and they have the confidence to like leave it, because I literally am like, this has to be symmetrical, or this has to be this, and they can just be like very free form.
I love that. I know, it's beautiful.
And then they know that it's fine. And
so I'm very like both ways of like where I could just like let go, but I can't let go. I am always at like a battle between myself, which fucking sucks. But it's
Speaking
also okay.
of a battle, Erin, we went through another clip that fast. We didn't talk about what we're going to talk about, and I think we need to save it for another episode, because there's no way we can fit it into one clip. She wanted to talk about her dad. We still have been promising to talk about.
I know.
This
I thought we were gonna like it was gonna like morph into that, but it never did.
That's
so
that's how conversations go. You see, conversations are a wave. It's an interplay between two people.
Because it's like I wasn't gonna just like start talking about that once it popped up. I was like, oh, it'll just flow into it. Nope.
Yeah. Painting. Because we literally took like a 2-minute break, and the conversation and the energy just switched to something else. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the podcast. Please subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/Nick Foster. Although I don't have all the bonus content up there yet, but we're going to start putting extra episodes of this podcast on there specifically for you guys. But you do get access to the Discord, special perks. Buy the merch. You can find the link in the description or on my link tree, but I will set up a specific website with our merch store very soon. So just check it out in the description. And thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode.
Oh, and then the link in bio or down below
for how to find a therapist to fix all your problems in your life.
Yeah.
And all of ours.
Okay, see you.
Bye, guys.